Attention bowlers, we are going to get started. Welcome back to Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. This is Paul Metivier at Justin Rodier. The match format is 5 strings with 14 points on offer. 2 points per strings, 4 for total pinfall, and if there's a tie, the points are evenly split. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by 3-Ball Spare Conglomerates. It's good as always to have you along with us. This match was played on Wednesday, March 26th, 2025 at about 7:04 p.m. local time. I'd like to highlight a couple things. First, this broadcast should have subtitles and live captioning enabled, so if you enjoy this feature, please feel free to enable it in the controls below. If you're watching this broadcast on YouTube, the transcript feature will also likely be available. Next, throughout the match, I'll describe the play-by-play action and up to the minute scoring to the best of my ability. Keep your eye on the unofficial scoreboard. It's there for the benefit of the broadcast. The bowlers maintain the official book records separately. And that's Paul Metivier, starting out on lane 24 to the left of the head pin. Left side half Worcester. And the second ball is a repeat of the first ball. At the time to speak with both Justin Rodier and Paul Metivier tonight to get some clarifications on how to pronounce each of their last names. I know with Paul Metivier particularly, I was making an assumption about how to pronounce his last name, and I figured I don't think I ever actually officially asked you, Paul, so he said I wasn't too far off, but he said Metivier, so just had to put more of an E on it, so I'm going to try to do that tonight. And so Paul starts out with a 6 box, and he starts out with a 6 split for the second frame. 4, 6, 7, 10, we call that a banana split in the Candlepin lingo and Candlepin canon. And it'll take the left side of the banana splits. Like I said, the banana split's a 4, 7, 6, 10 leave. Spread eagle minus the 2 and the 3. Named for Casey McCool by Paul Grant, I believe. And that's an 8 box for Paul Metivier. 14 after 2. Paul Metivier, our away bowler tonight. He comes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. On the road tonight at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. Class B North Division 4 this year. Division 3 last year. Paul Metivier, another half Worcester. That's 2 in 3 boxes for Paul Metivier. Record of 83 and 85 for the season with 12 matches played, a .98 win-loss ratio. When he is away, he is 39 and 45, a .87 win-loss ratio. When he's at home at Leda Lanes, his record is positive of 44 and 40, a 1.1 win-loss ratio. It's a working box for Paul Metivier. And he'll sail to the left of the head pin, and he'll take another 6 box. 6-8-6 for 20 after 3 for Paul Metivier. At the end of 5 boxes, we'll switch over to our home bowler, Justin Rodier, for the first time on this program, or my program at least. And we'll talk more about Justin Rodier in just a few boxes here. Paul Metivier to left of the headman. He's got this wild crossover right to left kind of drift that's going on, and I think he just has to calibrate it just a little bit here because he's throwing wildly right to left, crossing over. It's a good ball to throw. You just have to make sure you don't go too far to the left. Paul Metivier, there's the ball, and there's the spare. The calibration boxes in the first 3 led to a mark in the 4th, 30 and a bonus after 4 for Paul Metivier. So first blood goes to Paul Metivier in the 4th frame. And again, that crossover. 6-pack, maybe? Yes, it will be a 6-pack. Check his ID. 6-pack on the right side for Paul Metivier. We ID at Lakeside Lanes. Check out the 25th lane at Lakeside Lanes. And that's a spare for Paul Metivier all the while. We'll get back to the 25th lane in just a moment. Double spare for Paul Metivier. 44 and a bonus in the 5th for Paul Metivier. That 4 fill on that spare for the 6-pack led to a 6-pack spare. It was a great one, too. So we're going to say hello now to Justin Rodier for the first time on our program. Justin Rodier, opening ball, opening pitch. The first time on 3-ball spare, and he opens up with a 6-pack. Check his ID. Perfect time to continue our discussion about the 25th lane at Lakeside Lanes. The 6-pack brought to you by the 25th lane at Lakeside Lanes. Great bar, run by great people here at Lakeside Lanes, obviously. And check it out. Great prices on awesome taps, awesome beers, right here in the bowling alley. And Justin Rodier tries to 10 it up, and he'll take a 9. Wasn't for lack of trying. 9 after 1. Justin Rodier. First time on my program, as far as I understand. Not as far as I understand. I definitely know this. He's in Class B North Division 1. And there is a headpin shot and a nice ball for Justin Rodier. 9 drop on the 7-pin. I was observing Justin Rodier's release and approach style, and he does this kind of knuckleball, and it's mesmerizing to watch, actually. The way he throws that ball, and there's a spare on the single for Justin Rodier on the 7-pin. And it's a great ball because he spins it. He has like a backspin, kind of like a baseball-style knuckleball, and it's not something you really often see in candlepin. And it's something in which I know I've tried it, and I never know how to aim it. And my goodness, that's a 3-fill for Justin Rodier. Kind of a slice and dice along the 3-pin. Took out the 3, the 5, and the 8. So Justin Rodier on the 1-2 pocket, and he looks to spare it up, and he almost does it. But that kind of ball he throws, it's kind of this nice little strategy, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit once I compose more thoughts about it. That's 31 after 3 for Justin Rodier. I believe I will hold for the results. It looks like Paul is forgetting to put it up on the scoreboard, but I will wait for him, of course. But we'll remember, on-stream scoreboard is unofficial and kept separate from the bowlers. And that's a headpin shot for Justin Rodier. 9 drop, 10 pin is left on the deck. Wood has settled. Single pin spare for Justin Rodier. And he'll take that for a spare. Of course he will. 41 and a bonus after 4 for Justin Rodier. With 1 to go, both bowlers with 2 marks in their first half of the first game of 5 here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour tonight. And Paul is inputting those scores now. I'm just making sure those are correct. I'm pretty sure I am, but I'll just double check. 31 after 3 and 41 after 4 and a bonus. Here's the fill for Justin Rodier. And what a fill it is of 6. Not on the head pin. 1, 2, 7, 10 is what he's shooting at. See what Justin Rodier can do with this. Here we go. And he misses off to the right. Those bowling balls that Justin Rodier has, it's the Canadian flag. It's in this like acrylic clear kind of material. I assume it's probably a rubber polymer of some kind. I could be entirely wrong. I'm not the best at that kind of stuff, but it's definitely the Canadian flag design. Anyways, that's an 8 box for Justin Rodier and 55 after 5 for Mr. Rodier, putting him in competitive positioning against Paul Metivier's 44 and a bonus in the 5th. Still very early, so it can be, of course, anybody's games, of course. We won't really start talking about if it's a runaway unless someone really, really blows someone out in the first game, but, you know, never say never. We like to just watch amazing games no matter who throws them. So we're going to say hello to Paul Metivier for the second time tonight and the first time on lane 23 at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. It's great to have you along with us, as always. Metivier on the fill. And that will be a fill of 5. Not on the head pin. And he'll almost take it. He'll leave 1 on the deck. And Metivier will take a 10 box out of that mess. 59 after 6. 59 after 6 for Paul Metivier. Metivier, Metivier. We'll just say them all just to be safe. All Metivier to the left of the head pin. And that's the 1, the 3, the 6, the 4, the 7, and the 9. For a spare on a pocket shot. That should take it, but he's a little full. So it was a pocket shot, just needed to be a little less full or be more angled. Paul Metivier had this much more angled ball in lane 24. Lane 23 straightened it out a bit, but it's one of those things where it may not benefit you. That's a 9 box for Paul Metivier, 68 and 9. That is confirmed. And the 55/5 for Justin Rodier is also confirmed for anyone wondering, now that the electronic scoreboard down there has been caught up. And Paul, a little bit too much on the head pin. A 3-pin Taloned Spread Eagle. Caw. Took the 1, the 5, and the 8 out. Left everything else on the deck. And Paul Metivier will take the left half and the back Talon, leaving the 3, 6, 10. For a 10 box, looking to clean it up. Paul Metivier, he'll take everything but the 3-pin for a 9 box. That's 77 and 8 for Mr. Metivier. Paul Metivier, our away bowler, season average of 108.58, a home average of 107.17, and away average of 110.0. His high single 144, his high series 597. Paul Metivier on the head pin on the 1-2 pocket, a little bit thick, or full, I mean. A thin/thickish hit. 5, 6, 10. Piece of wood diagonal to the 5. And I think this can go if he can get the sweep. Hit it the right way. There's the sweep. One of those things where sometimes you just feel it in the air. You know it's going to go. And that's a spare for Paul Metivier. His 3rd in the game. 87 and 9 plus a bonus. Looks like it's going to be a great opening game for Paul Metivier. Just needs to fill this good to stick the landing. Here he goes. Oh, arms up. Didn't do it. 4 fill. 6-pack right again. Check his ID. Again, talking about the 25th lane at Lakeside Lanes. You can actually see it in this shot, kind of where those 3 lights are towards the right in the background. That's the bar. And it's, I'm not sure who's on bar duty tonight. It might be Caitlin Zolko. I spotted Tim Lipke here as well. And Kevin Davis. Oof, and that's a rough out for Paul. Meanwhile, and let's assess the score, shall we? He's at an even 100 in the first game. That 4-fill kind of stuffed him a little bit, but a 3-mark 100. Not a bad start for Paul Metivier. His season average is 108.58, so it's a little bit low. His away average is 110. So, again, hey, a little bit low, but hey, we'll give it to him as a maybe just a first game yips or whatever. 100 still isn't bad, triple digits. Here's Justin Rodier. He's the right of the head pin. Drops 5. 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Justin Rodier, season record of 66 and 102 with 12 matches played. At home, he's 36 and 48 here at Lakeside Lanes. Away, he's 30 and 54. Season average of 106.22 for Mr. Rodier. At home, he's 105.9 on the average. Away, he's 106.53. And he'll take a nice 10 box right there. 65 and 6. Justin Rodier's high single for the season is 135. His high series of 5 games is 577 with 31 strikes, 119 spares, and 142 10 boxes. Perfect box percentage of 49% for Justin Rodier. And on the pocket, on the 1-3 pocket, 7-pin goes nearly horizontal. But it doesn't fall down. It goes almost 45 degrees. Not hot enough, though. Justin Rodier, he'll spare it up. 75 and a bonus in 7. Seasonal total pins of 6,373 for Mr. Rodier. He's currently 3rd place in B North Division 1, the 12th seed in B North overall. That's the story for Justin Rodier. Working on a spare. It's Justin Rodier's world, and we're all just living in it, and that's a head pin shot and a great fill of 8, and a split of 8, 3-10 for Mr. Rodier. Looking to spare this up. Connect with a 3, and you've basically got it, and he does. That's another spare for Justin Rodier, his 4th of the game, 93, and a bonus in the 8th. And he is well on his way to taking the first game. He just needs to get to 100 to tie and greater than 100 to win the full 2 points. And to pad out the total for the grand total pinfall, which is worth 4 points later on. 2 for tie. Rodier, the left of the head pin, but that powerful knuckleball picked up a lot more pins than I think it would have gotten otherwise. That puts him at an even 100 in the 8th. 136 for the spare. Oh, and that spin ball again. That sonic spin ball almost comes back to take the head pin home after school, but just misses it, grazes it. For the 10 box, he's on target. 110 in 9 for Mr. Rodier. Justin Rodier on the head pin on the 1-2 pocket, drops 8. It's a 3-6 leave. No wood. It looks good to me. Just aim well. And he aims a little too well. A little full on the 3. Ball was effectively where it should have gone. It just didn't really deflect towards the 6. 9 or 10. 10 box, 120. Game 1 for Justin Rodier. He'll take the first game by 20 to Paul Metivier's 100. 4 marks for Justin Rodier, 3 marks for Paul Metivier. And what a wild barn burner of a first game for these 2 Class B bowlers. To compliment them a little bit here, compared to my match against Peter Crawford Jr., that's higher scoring games overall than the 2 of us for our first game, to kind of give you some perspective. Here comes game 2, and here comes Paul Metivier on lane 24. And he's on the head pin and rips the rack of us with a strike. He's been sitting far too long, and he was itching to send 10 to the ocean, and he sure did. Paul Metivier making a statement after losing by 20 in the first game. Again, this is the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. If you're just joining us, I'm Steve Kelly on the call, and Paul Metivier at Justin Rodier, and that's a headpin shot for Paul Metivier, if you could believe that. Splits 4. That's a bucket of 5 on the right and the 7. 7-10, 5-6, 3-9. Next ball completes the strike fill, and he'll take 8 out of it. 18 in 1. A full golf course in 1. Metivier will take 8 in the second for 26 after 2. Paul Metivier has 36 strikes, 132 spares, 133 10 boxes for the season, 50% perfect box percentage, 65-15 seasonal total pins. And he'll split 5 there. 7-10, 4-6-2. Paul Metivier is 3rd place in Class B North Division 4 and the number 9 seed in Class B North overall. Paul Metivier, he'll poke the 4 and leave the 2, the 6, the 7, and the 10 on the deck. 6-box guarantee, 10-box possibility. And he'll take somewhere in the middle for a 7 for 33 and 3 for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier has 5 matches this season at or over 550 in grand total pinfall. No 600 matches yet. He has 1 out of his 12 matches as a shutout victory of 14 points. And 6 of his 12 matches have been double-digit victories. And that's a shot to the right of the head pin and a Cleary for Mr. Metivier. The Cleary was named after Bob Cleary of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. 2 ways to get it. It's 4 horsemen and a sleeper on the opposite side. And to convert the Cleary, he'll leave the 4 and the 7, unfortunately. So it's a working box for an 8, 9, or 10. And it will be an 8-41 after 4 for Mr. Metivier. Paul Metivier, first game, 100. Nearly halftime of the second game here, and he's at 41 after 4 with one more box to go. Paul Metivier fires on the head pin. Weird mix, but a split of 8, 2-10. And Metivier, oh, he's just off by a little bit. It's always the ones that get away that hurt the most. And the third ball is more or less the same idea as the second ball. That's an 8 box, and that will be 49 after 5 for Mr. Metivier. Start out with a strike and an 8 fill, and then just 8s and 7s. So 49 after 5 for Mr. Metivier. Right. Now it's time for Justin Rodier to return to lane 24. Here he comes, Justin Rodier. And look at that. Watch out. Instant strike. Lots of strikes this so far. So Rodier starting out the same as Paul Metivier with a strike. And he's looking to fill it. Second. And Rodier for the double. He's off to the left. And he's got a few down so far, and the next ball will complete the fill. And he's off to the right. And that's a 6 fill on a strike. And Rodier for the 10 box, and he'll make it a 9 for 25 after 2. Just pause for a moment to give Caitlin the update on Justin Rodier, who's the home bowler. Just telling him he won the first game 120 to 100. Excellent opener for Justin Rodier, making a great first impression. Rodier on the, I was about to say the 1-3 pocket, but just didn't work out that way. 3 down, 7 up. There's another slice and dice diagonally on the 3, 5, and 8. And the second ball, I'd say, was a little off target. 5 down, 5 up. 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. No wood. Rodier will take a 6 box. 31 after 3 for Mr. Rodier. Justin Rodier, he has 3 matches this season at or over 550 in grand total pinfall. No matches at or over 600 yet. No shutout victories so far, but 3 of his 12 matches have been double-digit victories. Here comes Justin Rodier. On the head pin that time, and he drops 9. The 7 pin, the 7 orange pin is down there on the deck. Here comes Justin Rodier with a lumberyard down there. Home Depot down there. And he doesn't need no Home Depot. He'll just take the pin effectively directly. 41 and a bonus in the 4th for Justin Rodier. Justin Rodier with a strike and a spare this half. Looking to fill it right now. Here he goes. And he's just a little bit off to the left. He'll fill with 5, and that's a right side Cleary. Again, named after Bob Cleary of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. He apparently got the shot a lot and talked a lot about it on Facebook, apparently, way back in the day. It's a story from Bob Lee in terms of how that shot name came to be. And he'll take all the Cleary except for the head pin, the object pin. But the object pin goes on the 3rd ball, and that's a 10 box for 56 after 5 for Justin Rodier. 56 after 5 for Justin Rodier, and 49 after 5 for Paul Metivier. And so far, it's everything in Justin Rodier's favor. So far, 27 advantage for Justin Rodier in the total. 1.5 games in, and up by 7 in the game. And now Paul Metivier is on lane 23, and he's starting now. And oof, a quarter Worcester. The ever so loved quarter Worcester has made another appearance at Lakeside Lanes. He punched out only the 2. Not even a half Worcester, a quarter Worcester. Paul Metivier basically has to throw a strike, or the equivalent of a 9-pin strike, to get out of that, and he'll try, but he'll leave 3 pins on the deck. Ugly leave, 4, 5, 10. Could probably get 2 sticks out of it, maybe, or just 1. 8 box for Paul Metivier, 57 and 6. Paul Metivier, head pin average per match, on average, 25.38 for 50, with 12.88 splits per match on average. And that's another Cleary shot for Paul Metivier. I think it's our 3rd Cleary of the evening. Clinic of Clearys here so far. Or I don't know how many times before we label it a clinic, but hey, it's a Cleary. It's a 4 horseman in the opposite sleeper pin that isn't in the corner. For those wondering what the heck a Cleary is, if you want a quick way to define it. And he leaves all but the head pin, just like Justin Rodier did. But he'll miss the head pin. That's a 9 box. 66 and 7 for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier comes to us from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, as his home house, same as mine. In his past 5 matches, he's taken 26 points, averaging 5.2 points per match. It's Paul Metivier. And he fires. Throws the ball a little hard. 6-pack in the 7. 3 down, 7 up. It's the right side 6-pack. And Paul Metivier a little full on that head pin. Leaves the right side check mark. 6-pack in the 7 becomes the check mark. 5, 6, 3, 10. Metivier. He'll leave the 5. That'll be a 9. His second 9 box of the game. After 3 8 boxes in a row, that puts him at 75 after 8. And that score is confirmed. So we're at Lakeside Lanes tonight on this Wednesday night. There's a league going on. This place is pretty full. 50-50 raffle tickets going around. Probably will be announced soon. And will that be a nearly a strike. Paul Metivier on the head pin. Dropped all but the 3 pin. On the single. Single pin spare for Paul Metivier. And he punches that thing hard. Into next week, into the ocean. That's a spare for Paul Metivier. 85 and 9 plus a bonus. Paul Metivier filling that spare. He is off to the right of the head pin and he'll drop 5. 90 and 9. It's a 4 horseman left side in the 10. Paul Metivier, wow, what a nice shot. And he'll spare it up for a second spare in a row. And I'm going to see if I can get this working. Let's see the replay on that shot by Paul Metivier once again. And look at that shot. Perfectly executed by Paul Metivier. 100 plus a ball for Paul Metivier now. And the final fill ball off the right of the head pin, but drops 6. And that's going to be 106. Game 2 for Paul Metivier for a 2-game total of 206. 100 and then 106. He's 40% on the head pin so far. He has 6 splits, totaling 32 in bonus pins, averaging 5.3 per mark. 1 strike, 5 spares for Paul Metivier. Justin Rodier now. Has to get to 106 from 56. And he's on the head pin, punches hard. 3-pin talon spread eagle. Caca. 158. Punched out. Justin Rodier will punch the 3 next. Shooting a little bit full. Justin Rodier, on average, his head pin average per match is 24.63 per 50. And he'll take a few more out. That's a 7 box for Justin Rodier. 63 and 6. Generally, Justin Rodier takes 9.25 splits on average per match. So basically 9 per match. And Justin Rodier will drop 6, 1, 3, 6, 7. Justin Rodier is our home bowler. Home house here at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. I've seen Justin Rodier around a lot during tournaments and everything. And going to be bowling at least one more league in Lita probably this fall and possibly this summer. I'm sure we'll probably be seeing him around a whole lot more. So no mark for Justin Rodier here, and he's just poking out pins, and that'll be an 8-box, 71 and 7 from Mr. Rodier. In his past 5 matches, Justin Rodier has taken 24 points, averaging 4.8 per match. In his past 5 matches, he's totaled 2661 pins in total pinfall, averaging 532.2 per match. And Rodier on the head pin, a splash of a 9 drop and a 10 drop. That's a strike for Justin Rodier. Fast and furious. Let's see if I can get the replay on this going. Hit the button a little late, but hey, you saw the 10-pin fall late, so just to confirm, it was indeed a strike. Justin Rodier, 81 in 8 plus a bonus. He now has a chance to take Paul Metivier's 106. And he's on the head pin again on the pocket. It was a good shot. Split 7, 5, 7, 8. Take a good look at this. Waiting for wood to settle. Still rolling and figuring out. He's hoping it will turn, and it will turn a little bit. Not a lot, but enough of a turn. 785. Excuse me, 795. What am I saying? And will he spare it up? Oh my goodness, he almost does. I wouldn't have hit it any differently. So we'll take a nice 9 fill on that strike fill for 90 and 8. Rodier looking to finish this off. And he won't quite do it. He'll take a 9-box, though. A nice 19-box and then a 9-box to follow. He's at 99 and 9, and he just has to get to 106 to tie and greater than 106 to continue winning. We took the first game 120 to Paul Metivier's 100. Things are looking up for Justin Rodier. And here he goes, Justin Rodier. Missed the head pin narrowly. Drops 5. 1, 3, 7, 8, 10 by my count. 1, 3, 7, 8, 10 for Justin Rodier. Oh my goodness, and will be a spare? Oh, almost. He touches them all. And it was almost a pretty one. The 10-pin got nudged, but it didn't quite fall. But that will be enough to take the second game. That'll be a 9-box, a foul, a 108. Still takes it. 108 to 106. Another W for Justin Rodier. 4 points to Paul Metivier's 0. So far, a difference in the total of 22 for Justin Rodier. 228 to Paul Metivier's 206. Justin Rodier took the game by 2. Justin Rodier currently 50% on the head pin. 10 for 20. And 3 splits. Paul Metivier currently 8 for 20 on the head pin with 6 splits. Justin Rodier totaling 44 in fill bonus pins, averaging 6.3 per mark. Paul Metivier, meanwhile, totaling 32, averaging 5.3 per mark. 2 strikes, 5 spares for Justin Rodier, 1 strike, 5 spares for Paul Metivier. So in the marks department, they are actually fairly even, just 1 strike additional for Justin Rodier. Head pins are relatively even. Splits are more in favor of Justin Rodier right now. He's only got 3, and Paul Metivier is unluckier with 6. To give you kind of an idea of what's going on overall cumulatively. And Paul Metivier's just quickly just running out just to take a quick bio break as far as I understand. So we'll just take a quick pause here to catch our breath, of course. So anyways, let's talk about our way bowler here. In case you missed it before, Paul Metivier, Class B North, Division 4, currently the 9th seed in Class B North. 83 and 85 is a season record after 12 matches, 108.6 on average. And he's the he's a 3rd place in Class B North Division 4 and the 9th seed in B North overall. And of course, Justin Rodier, first time on my program, currently the 12th seed overall, and he's 3rd place in Class B North Division 1. Just to give you kind of the idea of where they are. So they have a bit of a ladder to climb still, but never say never on any of that. I won't speculate on how close or far away they are from the playoffs and whatnot. And hey, in case you don't know or you're just confused on anything on how to read the scoreboard, here's a bit of a reference guide right now while we have some time. You may have noticed there are some lights to the left and the right of the score towers. The green one on the left side represents the head pin when it's lit, and the red one on the right represents a split when it's hit. A split can occur when a head pin is not hit, but it only can be considered a split if the head pin is down. So you can have a situation where you have no head pin and a split. And of course, we have the symbols for double strike, strike spare 10. Strike follows the CompU score lingo of being a filled-in square. The spare symbol, more universal for candle pin, and 10 pin is a triangle. And the 10, this is a confusing one, because in 10 pin, it can often be considered a strike with an X symbol, but in candle pin, we are going to call this a 10 box, at least on my streams. I know on the Cubica AMF BES system, a 10 means an X means strike, and that just only adds to the confusion, but hey. And the double strike symbol is the 4 triangles in the corners. If we are so lucky to see some double strikes, that's what it'll look like. It'll represent 20 plus whatever the final ball fill is. Maybe 30 if you get a triple. And that little mini map in the top left corner of your screen when we return to the main view will be the little indicator of the points, the match total, and the game total, as well as the leads in the center in the gray. Match lead and game lead, respectively, going from top to bottom, and the bowler initials are at the top. And we are now ready to roll. Paul Metivier starting out. And starting out he does with a split. Not a strike this time. Both bowlers started out with a strike in the previous game in the first ball. First box, that is.
Hey everybody, a 50-50 tonight is worth $50.
And the 50-50 is about to be announced.
0, 6, 2, 3.
You got all that? That's the same combination as my luggage. And Paul Metivier, wow. Just poking pins out. That's a 7 box for Paul Metivier. That's the 2, the 6, and the 10. Paul Metivier, rough first box. It was a split and then just misery for the second and third balls. Paul Metivier, so far 100 and 106 in the first and second games, and he's way off to the left. Another one of those balls where he just crossed over way too much. He's got the 1-pin diamond and the 6 triangle. And yikes, another punch. Another hard punch on ball 2. He's now got the 6-pack.
Ladies, Caitlin, 111. Joey, 137.
And congratulations to Caitlin and Joey for the first game high single, I guess. I'm gonna guess that's a pool. I'm gonna guess that's a high single pool in the league. And that's another 6 box for Paul Metivier. 1, 5, 6, and 10. Yikes. 13 after 2 for Paul Metivier. And Metivier on the 1-2 pocket this time. More on target. Drops 7, 3, 6, 10. And he collides with wood, but doesn't collide with any pins. And Metivier for the 10 box, and he'll get that 10 box. That's 23 after 3 for Mr. Metivier. In his past 5 matches, Paul Metivier has totaled 27-24 pins, averaging 544.8. And he's on the head pin there, and will he push the 9 back? He won't. Oh, I thought it was going to be a strike. It looked for certain based on the motion of that piece of wood. The orange pin for a spare on the 9. And Paul Metivier, oh my goodness, he'll collide with the wood, and you see that face? Yeah, that would have been my exact reaction as well. I can't believe what just happened there. Now he's just got like a triangle of wood. Ridiculous. That's a 10 box and probably one of the most infuriating Paul Grant specials I think I've seen in a long time.
$264.
Just waiting on the mystery pool drawing.
Number was 129. There were no winners.
All right, you got all that? Mystery pool was called as well. 7 drop for Paul Metivier, 9, 10, 6. The 6 triangle. And Paul Metivier, I knew that was going to happen. The way he has his crossover ball going right to left, I knew that was going to be a little bit more trouble than it looked like it was. It looked like it might have looked. I don't know what I'm saying. 8, 9, or 10 boxes is a 10 box for Paul Metivier. 3 10 boxes in a row. That's noteworthy right there. 3 10s in a row. 43 after 5 for Paul Metivier. 4 for 5 in the head pin with 1 split. So, in terms of some stats, that looks pretty good, but it's just he couldn't really string together any marks. A couple of missed opportunities there for sure, and but that's just how it goes sometimes. Say hello to Justin Rodier once again. Here he comes. On the head pin, look out, and it's a strike for Justin Rodier. Another opener on the first ball for a strike. Making a statement. Like I said, when that ball of his is really dialed in, that knuckleball, he's got a lot of power and spin in that release. And if that connects in the right spot, just goodbye 10. Justin Rodier. 3 strikes, 5 spares. 52% head pin completion percentage. A little off there. Drops 5 so far. One, 5, 3, 8, 9. For Justin Rodier. To complete the fill, and he'll take 6 on the fill, 16 after 1. For the 10 box, he'll take 9, 25 after 2 for Mr. Rodier. Justin Rodier has 10 of his 12 matches at or over 500 in grand total pinfall. His longest streak of strings at or over 100 has been 16. That is one heck of a streak for bowling over 100. His longest streak of matches at or over 550 has been 3. His longest winning streak of greater than 7 points per match has been 3 this season. And he'll drop 7 and split 7. That's the 8, 6, 10 for Justin Rodier. Take a good look at that. That's the 8, 6, 10. Piece of wood. Diagonal of the 8, I wouldn't play that. I'd play the wood, the left cap of the 610. And he almost gets it. But he hit it a little bit straight on. I probably would have angled the cap. And for the 10 box, and the wood's deflecting the ball, and that was what I would be worried about if you were going to play that for the spare bid. That's a 9 box for Justin Rodier, 35 after 3. Excuse me. My bad. 34 after 3. I was thinking 10 box, and despite saying 9, I keyed in 10. And right on the head pin, right on the nose, 3-pin Talon spread eagle, caca. Seen a fair amount of those tonight as well, in addition to clearies. Rodier's 3 for 4 on the head pin with 2 splits this game. And he'll punch the 3 and only the 3. No mark. He's got a working ball in a working box. Six up, 4 down. And whoa, what a... You gotta be kidding me. Well, I even keyed that in as a 10 preemptively, but I couldn't believe that last pin didn't fall for Justin Rodier, but he really had a great out of that. It's his 3rd 9 box in a row, but hey, it could have been so much worse. So it was a great ball. Great shot. Great out. 43 and 4. Up by 10. To the right of the head pin, he drops 7. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5 with wood behind the 2. Let's see what Justin Rodier can do with this. Oh, and he just misses. It starts with hitting it. Sails off a little bit to the right. Rodier. We'll take a 9 box out of it. 52 and 5. Still in good shape. Up in the game by 9. Up in the total by 31. Based off of the first 2 games. So 43 Paul Metivier after 5. 52 after 5 for Justin Rodier. Still say it is... You know, I'm never going to say it's a runaway just yet, but Justin Rodier does have 2 confirmed games under his belt so far. Here comes Paul Metivier. And that's a 7 drop. 137. $137 for Paul Metivier. Oh, and it'll be a little bit too full on the 1 and the 3. And it'll sail into the ocean for a 9-box. That's 52 and 6 for Paul Metivier, confirmed. Matching Justin Rodier's 52.5. But he had to get one additional box to get there. That's a split and a spread eagle, a traditional academic spread eagle for Paul Metivier. Kaka. Metivier will take the left wing first. These are exceptionally difficult spare shots. And a lot of times you just have to cut your losses and just take the wings out individually. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get a kick and take both out at the same time, but just like that, Paul Metivier just pins it out for a 10-box, 62 and 7. Paul Metivier has 10 to 12 matches at or over 500 in grand total pinfall. He's going to split 7 here. 4-6-3. Here it comes. Oh, and he's just off by a little bit. Sometimes a little bit can be a lot, especially in Candlepin bowling. Metivier on the retry. Oh, and a nice 10-box, though. Bet he wishes that was basically the second ball. Not technically a PGS, since he took a pin out in the second ball, but, you know, what could have been. 72 and 8 for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier's longest streak of strings at or over 100 has been 11. His longest streak of matches at or over 550 has been 3, and oof, another spread eagle for Paul Metivier. So he's going to have to pin this out once again. Paul Metivier's longest winning streak of greater than 7 points per match has been 3 this season so far. So Paul Metivier will find himself taking the left wings out again this time, and this time... And the third ball, he'll just have to take the 3-6-10. Will he do it again? Oh, he'll just punch the 3 a little bit too hard. That'll be an 8. 80 and 9 for Paul Metivier. Markless right now. Paul Metivier averages 6.5 points per match when he's away. 7.33 points when he's home on average. Paul Metivier. Headpin shot. Another split of 7, split of 8. It's the 4 and the 10 on the deck. $4-10 for Mr. Metivier, and he'll go, and it goes. Great shot by Paul. He needed that one. 90 and a bonus in the 10th, and here's that shot again in case you missed it. Fires on the 4. Well, fires on the wood in front of the 4, and that angled everything just right. And what's it going to be for the fill? It's going to be a fill of 8 for Paul Metivier. Not quite 100, but 98's pretty remedial, considering that was the only mark of the game. He went 8 for 10 on the headpin, believe it or not, but only got 98 out of it with 5 splits. Paul Metivier with 98. And Justin Rodier seems like he should be in good, decent standing to overtake that, but we'll see what happens. Starting now, Justin Rodier. Fires. 6-pack in the 7 to start out. Sees the left of the headpin. Orange pin, head pin. Rodier. Oh, on the 1-3 pocket. Gets a wraparound, but leaves the 5 on the deck. The wraparound took the 7, specifically. And he'll take the 10 for 62 and 6. Justin Rodier averages 6 points per home match, 5 points per away match. His past 5 matches, he's had 16 strikes, averaging 3.2 per match. Justin Rodier drops 7. 1, 3, 7. And he's a little bit too direct on the 1-3. I thought that spin ball, which spins counterclockwise, had a chance of going left towards the 7, but nothing doing. I'll take a nice 10 box out of it. His second 10 box in a row for 72 and 7. Justin Rodier. The orange pin is the 3 pin this time. The orange pin pool at Lakeside Lanes is a super fun pool. And we'll talk more about that in a second. That's a 7 drop for Rodier. 9, 10, 6. The orange pin is a pool where if you put in $1 at the desk before a league, if you get a mark, strike, or spare while the head pin is the orange pin randomly set by the pin setter, you get entered into a raffle. And I've won that raffle several times. But it's kind of a nice balance of RNG and raw skill. Because you never know when a pin setter is going to put that pin down as the head pin or not. That's an 8 box for Justin Rodier, 80 and 8. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I've really gotten an orange pin mark in quite a while. And I think it's just because I can't remember the last time I had an orange pin head pin in the Sunday Night Mixed League at Lakeside. Rodier, to the right of the head pin, that's a Cleary. Another Cleary named after Bob Cleary. This is the 1, 2, 4... 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. Justin Rodier versus the Cleary. The Cleary wins again. The 7 and the 9 are left on the deck. And he's got to pick a stick. He'll take the 9 and leave the 7 for a 9 box. 89 and 9 for Justin Rodier. That is confirmed. And this is going to be a tight game here. He needs a mark. No, what am I saying? He needs a 10 box. 10 box to guarantee the win. I was off by 1 mentally. Rodier on the head pin. A split of 5. 7, 10, 4, 6, 3. We'll see how we can pin this out. 9 box needed to tie. That's 1 out, and oh no. Now he needs to make a pretty shot to tie or win. Paul Metivier might come out of this with points. We'll see. Rodier. Oh no, he'll take a 7 box, and that is a game in favor of Paul Metivier. 96 for Justin Rodier, 98 for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier takes the second game, the third game by 2. 3-game total of 304 for Paul Metivier, and a 3-game total of 324 for Justin Rodier. And Justin Rodier holds on to the total by 20 right now. 53% head pin completion percentage for Paul Metivier, 50% for Justin Rodier. Justin Rodier is winning in the strike game, 3 to Paul Metivier's 1. Paul Metivier has more spares than Justin Rodier, 6 to 5. Justin Rodier totaling more in fills than Paul Metivier. But anyways, let's move on to game 4 now here on the Atlantic Candlepin Single Store. I'm Steve Kelly in the call here at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire on this busy Wednesday night. Great to have you along, as always. Paul Metivier, his past 5 matches, he has 17 strikes, averaging 3.4 strikes per match. And speaking of strikes, he moves the 6 pin on that bomb of a first ball. And you saw that, and yeah, he just said he moved it off the spot, and I don't disagree. That thing slid. That thing got some distance. So in another universe, that's a strike. Let's see if he can get the single, and he sure will. That's 10 after 1 and a bonus for Paul Metivier with that opener of a spare. Paul Metivier. And a nice explosion of a first pitch. Drops 6. Bundle of pins on the left. 2, 4, 7, 8. It's a triangle, but a different kind of triangle, technically. And he's a little bit too full on the object pin. Leaves the 4 and the 7. And it was a fill of 6, by the way. 16 after 1. And Metivier will clean up for a 10 box, 26 after 2. Paul Metivier in his past 5 matches, 54 spares, averaging 10.8 spares per match. Paul Metivier to the left of the headpin, and he'll get a nice mix. Not quite a 6-pack. 4 horsemen right side and the 9. A 5-pack. Someone stole a beer out of the canister in the car after he bought it at Shaw's. I don't know. Which is funny because Paul Metivier works at Market Basket. He leaves the 6 on the deck. And he'll take another 10 bucks. 36 after 3. Paul Metivier is throwing a perfect game so far. And Paul Metivier in his past 5 matches has taken 47 10 boxes, averaging 9.4 10 boxes per match as of late. And he's on the headpin there, and he almost strikes it. He does strike it. That's a strike for Paul Metivier. Now he's getting things locked in. 46 and a bonus in the 4th. You may recall a couple of matches ago, Paul Metivier had an 88 half. I think it was 88. Just saying that from memory. And he threw that at Lita Lanes. And this isn't quite 88, but it's getting there. He's on the 1-3 pocket there. And he drops 6. It's a 2 diamond. It's a 2 diamond for Paul Metivier. 2, 4, 5, 8. And that's a 7 fill, 53 and 4. Will he keep up the perfect game? He sure will. He's 63 and 5. That's a perfect half for Paul Metivier. Lowest box was a 10. We call that perfect. Perfect with a couple of asterisks on it. Strike spare, 310, 63 for Paul Metivier. 5 boxes into the 4th game. Here's Justin Rodier once again. Lane 24, opening ball in the 1-2 pocket. Oh my goodness, it's another strike. Both of our bowlers today just love throwing marks in the first box. This is becoming a trend, and it's a good trend. It makes for good television, for sure. Justin Rodier, 10 after 1 and a bonus. Here he comes, Justin Rodier on the strike for the double. Oh, and not quite a double. Some call that a lemon drop. First ball punch out on the 4 of the 6 pin. $1 donation to Campbell's for Kids for occurrence. $5 if it's filling a mark. I don't know if that counts as the fill in the mark. I don't think it does for a strike. Whoa, and we should establish... hold on a second, it's a 4 fill. We should establish a rule where if it's a double lemon drop on a strike fill, it's like $30. I don't know. Paul Grant, if you're listening, take some ideas down. Look at that 10 box out for Justin Rodier, though. Made lemons out of that. Well, made lemonade out of those lemons. Nice out. 24 after 2. For Justin Rodier. Rodier on the headpin, on the pocket. Drops 7, 8, 9. He is spared of the split. Spared of the split statistic. That's a confusing sentence. Lumberyard down there on the 10. And it goes. He played it direct. Had to play the wood in some way, so there's no way to not do it, but he takes a spare. That's 34 and a bonus after 3 for Justin Rodier. He's perfect this half so far. Can we get a double perfect half in the 4th? Let's see. Tune in with me and find out. Justin Rodier on a spare. Orange pin's the 4 pin this time. Rodier on the... Oh, I was going to say 1-3 pocket, but not quite. 6 fill, 4 horsemen. 40 after 3. Rodier 1, 2, 4, 7. For the spare. Oh, he's just a little bit off the head pin. And the wood didn't kick back. Justin Rodier will take a nice 10 box. He's still perfect. 50 after 4. Just get one more box, and we can say we've had 10 consecutive boxes of perfectness across both bowlers. Just watched a nice strike on lane 21 by Open Bowling. That was fun to watch. Justin Rodier on the head pin. Oh, it's almost a strike. Come on, wheel it down. Wheels. Not quite. 6 pin stays. Once again, just like Paul Metivier's 9 drop. Something about that 6 pin spot. And that's a perfect half for Justin Rodier. 2 perfect halves in a row. 63 after 5 for Paul Metivier, and 60 and a bonus after 5 for Justin Rodier. 10 consecutive perfect boxes. Both bowlers, they're the energy between them is definitely causing some really amazing things to happen right now this game. Anyways, Paul Metivier. Let's keep this going. And he's on the head pin. Drops 4. Spread eagle. Caca. He's gotten a lot of these, particularly on lane 23. You saw in the last game he had 2 of them. He turned one of them into a 10 box and the other one not so much into a 10 box. And he'll take the left wing first. That is Paul Metivier's preference. But he'll leave the 2 pin. Right wing stays. Metivier 2, 3, 6, 10. And he'll take a nice 9 box, a good out, 72 after 6. That ends the streak of perfect boxes. But 72 after 6 ain't bad. Metivier, the right of the head pin, drops 3. Half Worcester plus DLC on the right side. See what he can do here. Ooh, and gets a wheelie cart ride to take down the head pin. Leaves the 610 on the deck. For the 10 box. I know, play the wood a little bit too direct. That's an 8 box for 80 in 7. As confirmed. 3 boxes to go. Paul Metivier averages 108. Still plenty of wiggle room. In his past 5 away matches, he's taken 33 points, averaging 6.6 points per match. Oh, and that was a great ball. And look at that 4-pin wiggling and not falling down. That's frustrating. When you touch all 10 and the last one just doesn't go, you just look down there and you go, you know, I did my job. I hit the pocket. Need the pins to do theirs. But he can spare it up. Single pin with wood on the 4. And of course he does. 90 and 8. And a bonus for Paul Metivier. That's 6 for 8 on the head pin with only 1 split this game. 22 for 38 on the head pin overall with 12 splits for Paul Metivier. It's on a mark. He's on a spare. He's filling a spare now. Oh, and he's off to the right. Will he get a decent mix out of it? Still mixing. A big inverted check mark. It's a 5 fill. 4 horsemen left side and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Don't really see this shot all that often. Or at least in my recent memory, I don't remember seeing this all that often. And will he spare it up? Oh my goodness. He was a little bit too... I don't know if he's too full or too splashy. I don't know what that was on the main pocket, but he leaves the 7 on the deck. No mark. 95 and 8. And we're waiting for a piece of wood that is definitely out of play. As you can see, way out of play. Justin Rodier will go down to retrieve it. Thank you, Justin Rodier, for your services. And after all that, he misses it. 9 box for Paul Metivier, 104 and 9. And there goes the pin. Hey, now we got it. All right, 104 and 9 for Paul Metivier. 4 box or greater, he'll reach his average. 22 for 39, the head pin with 12 splits. And he's on the pocket again. Pins are still mixing. He's got the accordion. You watched him make the shot at Riverwalk. If you watched 3-ball spare and you saw the short where Paul Metivier played the accordion, he did it once before. Will he do it again? We'll make another YouTube short out of that. That's a spare for Paul Metivier. 114 and a bonus. Now things are looking a little more steady for Paul Metivier. If he can take this fourth game and hold on to it, he'll be in good positioning against Justin Rodier, and we'll have a real competitive match going into the fifth. To catch you up, Paul Metivier took one game so far. Justin Rodier took the first two. Paul Metivier took the third. So if he can take the fourth, and if Justin Rodier doesn't match Paul Metivier, then going into the fifth will be real interesting. So stay tuned and we'll find out. For the fill, final ball on the head pin. Wow, nice shot. 8 and 8 fill, leaving the 8 and the 10. That puts him at 122 for the fourth game for Paul Metivier. That is confirmed. A 4-mark 122. He was perfect in the first half. But might I remind you, Justin Rodier is also perfect in his first half, and he's coming off of a fill on a spare when he comes up to the decks. So stay tuned. Justin Rodier's got something to say here at Lakeside Lanes on the Atlantic Hennepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. If you're just tuning in, intense match tonight. Lots of marks between Justin Rodier and Paul Metivier. And here we go. Orange pin, head pin. Rodier. He fires. He's on that head pin. On that orange pin. Fills with 6, split 6. 4, 6, 2, 10. 66 and 5. Rodier. Oh. Takes the 2 on the left. He touches the 6. The 6 wiggles. I think it even got slightly moved off the spot, but doesn't fall. 8, 9, or 10 box for Rodier. And he'll pin it out for a 10, 76 and 6 for Mr. Rodier. Still perfect, 6 boxes in. The last perfect game thrown was by Peter Crawford Jr. in my match yesterday at Leda Lanes. I'll have a narrated and commentated version of that match going up soon on 3-ball spare on YouTube. I have that set to go live tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., so be on the lookout for that on YouTube on 3-ball spare. And that's a split and an 8 drop for Justin Rodier. That's the 5 and the 10 on the deck. Take a look at this. 5-10. I think you can go. Play the wood the right way. Cap that wood on the left. I think you have a chance. Or sweep it. Or maybe try that too, but I would say that's a medium-high difficulty spare leave. So if he takes his 10 pin, he'll still be perfect this game. Rodier. And he does. He's still perfect. Still perfect. 86 in 7 for Justin Rodier. 3 marks. And anything that isn't a mark is a 10 box for Justin Rodier. Here he goes. On the head pin, 1-3 pocket. Split 6. 2, 4, 7, 10. Take a good look at this one, too. I think with his ball, he might go. Just need to get the nice deflection to take the 10. Oh, and that was the ball. I thought it was going to go. It was the right idea. Exactly the right idea. 7 pin is left on the deck. See if he gets the 10. And I think it's good. I'll hold for the call. And it is. Confirmed by Paul Metivier down there, 96. In 8. Still perfect. Still a perfect game, Justin Rodier. Justin Rodier, ooh. And you know, I don't know if you saw that. I saw that. He had a bit of a hesitation, almost like a bit of a blip in his approach. And that definitely threw something off. I don't know what happened there. And Rodier, ooh, second ball on the head pin, but weird action. Leaves the 2 and the 5. 8 box to 10 box for Justin Rodier. Oh, and he slipped a little bit there, and that's going to be his first not perfect box of the game so far. 104 and 9 for Justin Rodier. But he's still doing okay. 104 and 9. but he needs a mark. He's tied with Paul Metivier in the 9th. And he's on the head pin there, and oh my goodness, that's a 5 split. That's a 3 diamond in the 7. That's going to be a rough mark, and he needs this mark to take this 4th game. Otherwise, we're going to go into a real competitive 5th game. And he'll break, well, almost break the diamonds. He'll leave the 7 and the 9, so Paul Metivier will take the game 4. Rodier will come out of this with a 113 or 114. It'll be a 113 with that 9 box. And it's a 4-game total of 426 for Paul Metivier and a 4-game total of 437 for Justin Rodier. He went 8 for 10 on the head pin, and he had 4 splits. Overall, he's 22 for 40 on the head pin with 10 splits. Paul Metivier, 7 for 10 on the head pin this game with 1 split. Paul Metivier is 23 for 40 on the head pin with 12 splits. 58% head pin completion percentage for Paul Metivier, 2 strikes, 9 spares. 55% head pin completion percentage for Justin Rodier, 4 strikes, 7 spares. It's a difference of 11 in Justin Rodier's favor in the total. 437 to Paul Metivier's 426. Paul Metivier took the 4th game by 9. 122 to Justin Rodier's 113. That's the story of Game 4. And going into Game 5 then, the point spread is actually somewhat almost evenly matched effectively. Both bowlers took 2 games apiece, and the grand total pinfall is just a difference of 11. So let's go into Game 5, and that's a split for Justin Rodier, 5-6-10. Let's go. This will be big. Excuse me, Paul Metivier, excuse me. Nothing. Yeah, don't get that backwards. And he'll punch 1, Paul Metivier will, leaving the 5-10. And he'll take an 8 to open up. No mark this time in the opener. Paul Metivier, 8 after 1. 1 head pin shot, 1 split. And he's on the head pin again, and he'll split again. 7 drop, 5-3, 5-3-10. Metivier. Oh, and he'll take the object 2 pins in the front. But nothing doing when it comes to taking the 10. Paul Metivier, he'll take a 9 box, 17 after 2. Perfect on the head pin so far this half. Also perfect on the splits, for that matter. Thanks for tuning into the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Store, the best place to watch some of the most exciting Candlepin matches from a wide selection of bowlers from all skill levels. This is Class B. We have classes A through F, so this is Class B, the semi-pro tier. And that's a 9 drop for Paul Metivier, leaving the 6 on the deck. And he's got quite a lumberyard down there. In fact, let's zoom in on that just to show you where the wood is settling. Look at the 6 pin down there. I just play it direct. You could try to play that diagonal wood, but I tried that yesterday in my match, and I know better now. But Paul Metivier will take a spare out of it. 27 and a bonus after 3. Mr. Metivier on lane 24 at Lakeside Lanes in Manchester, New Hampshire. He's off the right of the head pin. He'll fill with 4. Working ball. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Metivier. Oh, he's on the object 1-2 pocket, but he leaves the 6 and the 10. Pins just didn't mix right. On the 6-10, 8 box or higher, it'll be an 8. 39 after 4 for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier is currently 26 for 44 on the head pin with 14 splits, and he's 2 for 4 on the head pin with 2 splits this game. Mr. Metivier right on the head pin, a little too direct on the head pin. Another 4-pin spread eagle. He's gotten a lot of those tonight. It's got to be frustrating. And Paul Metivier tries to break the eagle. Gets a few off both sides. In his past 5 home matches, Paul Metivier has taken 44 points, averaging 8.8 per match. Doing better home rather than away. He has 6 out of his 12 matches without double-digit wins. He has the number 10th ACST fewest average pins left at 35.45. That's an 8 box for Paul Metivier. 47 after 5 is the half. That's got to be like your 4th. I was just talking about that. I think that was your 4th one. And Paul was actually even asking me, he goes, what's my spread eagle stat? And I was like, I think we're on number 4 at this point. Just mentally remembering that one. Justin Rodier, let's see if it's a strike. Nope, not quite. But it'll drop 8, 110 on the deck. 110 Grill, not sponsored. Rodier. Oh, and he'll take the spare on the 110. 10 after 1 and a bonus for Justin Rodier. Justin Rodier in his past 5 matches, he's taken 46 spares, averaging 9.2 per match, and he's taken 16 tens in his past 5 matches, averaging 3.2 per match, most recently. In his past 5 home matches, Justin Rodier has taken 34 points, averaging 6.8 per match. It's like dead even right now. And he'll split 8. So split 8, and he was just asking about a piece of wood in the gutter, just for some advice from Paul. So he's 18 after 1. Oh, and he almost takes the 7-10. He plays the wood and tries to deflect, but he can't quite get the leverage to send the ball to the 7. It'll take a 9. As of right now, yeah. They've both taken 2 games apiece. So it's going to come down to this game and the total. And the total's close. So. Rodier will split 6.
Which 2 games apiece be 4 and 4?
This is as of right now. Though.
Oh, so
Yeah, this is live. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's giving him 2 points for this
Right.
game. Thus
Yep.
far. Ah,
Yeah. Oh,
I
and
understand.
yep.
I like your system, but I don't know it all. I haven't seen it all.
Oh yeah.
But I love what you do.
Thanks. Rodier, a working box, and he'll take a 9. 36 after 3. So Rodier spare 8, 9, 9. And he'll split 7 there. 7, 4, 5. It's going to be a rough leave. Not a lot of wood. Plays it the best he can. He takes the 2 on the left side. Takes the 4 and the 7. Leaves the 5. Opts for pins rather than the trick shot. And he'll take a 10 box. 46 after 4 for Justin Rodier. 3 for 4 on the headpin with 3 splits. Yeah, every single one of those headpin shots has been a split, so he's just had bad luck on the headpin. But he's on the headpin, and that's important. Stay on the headpin. I know it can be discouraging if you're on the headpin and get a lot of splits, but don't change anything. Still go for the headpin no matter what happens. It's like what Matt Susi says. This is the easiest game in the world. Once you release that ball, there's nothing you can do in terms of what happens down there. Some advice from my Worlds teammate. That's another split for Justin Rodier. That's a 5, 9, 10, but look at that wood leave. Watch this. I think this will go. Look at that. It goes for Justin Rodier. Way to bookend that half. A strike in the first and a strike in a spare in the first and a spare in the 5th. That's 56 and a bonus for Justin Rodier. Spare with an 8 fill, 9, 9, 8 spare. 56 for Justin Rodier. So we're coming into the final quarter, the final halves of this game, and this will be the 3rd quarter, technically. coming into the home stretch. Paul Metivier, another spread eagle. I think that's spread eagle number 5. That's definitely enough, I think, for possibly a highlight reel for Paul Metivier at this point. All these spread eagles. Oh, my goodness. Paul Metivier, he's got to go to work on the spread eagle. He takes 2 out so far. Almost every single... No. He's 4 for 6 on splits so far this game. It's a 9 box, 56 and 6. He's 5 for 6 on the head pin, and 4 of those 5 head pin shots have been splits. But he's 61% on the head pin. That's pretty good. Justin Rodier is not far behind him, though, at 58. Again, this match is very close. Both bowlers have taken 2 games apiece. It's going to come down to this 5th game and the total. And again, it's close. So every pin is going to count at this point. Paul Metivier is off to the left of the head pin, 4 horsemen right, and the 7-8. And it'll punch a little full down the center, leaving the 3, 6, 7, 10. And Metivier takes 2 more out for an 8 box, 64 and 7 for Paul Metivier. That is confirmed. I'd like to thank a couple of folks before we sign off for the evening, including our ACST committee members, our league commissioner Danny Finn, our Class B treasurer Corey Alisi, statistician Micah Imparato, the staff at Lakeside Lanes, Caitlin Zolko, Bobby Greco, Shane Lipke, Tim Lipke, everyone working here tonight, Kevin Davis, and Paul Metivier. Yikes. A split and a miss on the spare leave. It's the 4 and the 10. I'd like to thank Steve Abodeely for some of our B-roll and photography you've seen during some of these interludes. Some of those shots are his. You can check him out at stabodeely.com, stabodeely.com, for some of his other work. I always like to thank viewers like you for watching. Everyone tuning in, whenever, however, always appreciate you watching. If you like this content and want to see more, I encourage you to strike, comment, and subscribe to the multiverse of Candlepin Bowling. And that's a 9 drop for Paul Metivier on the head pin, leaves a 7. Some pages you can check out are the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook and YouTube, the Candlepin Chat group on Facebook, Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, Candlepin Corner on YouTube, at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok, Outrun the Bear on Facebook and Instagram, Alley Chat on YouTube, Bowling with the Gothiers on YouTube, of course my channel, 3 Ball Spare on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.tv. Paul Metivier, he gets a PGS, missed the second, get the third situation on the 7 pin. You can also check out the Candlepin Bowling channel on YouTube, the Ripping the Rack podcast on YouTube, the Approach podcast on Facebook. There's Tony Levesque on YouTube, Charlie Collins on TikTok, and Wolfman12395 on YouTube for uploads of classic Candlepin matches of yesteryear. And Paul Metivier, 82 and 9, dropping 7, 1, 2, 10. This might be do or die time. This might be a must-mark situation, just given how well Justin Rodier has been pinning. And that's no mark for Paul Metivier. That's 1 and 10. 8 box or greater. And it will be an 8 box, and that will be a 90 game 5 for Paul Metivier for a 5-game total of 516. Paul Metivier, 2 strikes, 10 spares, 60% on the head pin, 30 for 50, 17 splits, totaling 70 in bonus pins on fills, averaging 5.8 per mark. That's the story for Paul Metivier this evening. And now the home bowler will do the honors of closing us out. Paul Metivier, Justin Rodier. Justin Rodier starts out. Bouncy ball. I don't know if that was intended, but he drops 6 and fills 6. 4 horsemen left side on a spare fill in the 5th. 62 and 5. 1, 2, 4, 7. And Rodier runs down the 4 horsemen for a spare. And it was a fast one. I think I got it on the replay. Check this out. On the 1, 2, 4, 7 once again. Runs them all down. I've been trying to get a couple more replays in, but it's just... things have just been going kind of fast tonight, and I've just been also been partially forgetting to hit the button, so my apologies on that. And that's going to be a 4-fill, leaving the 6-pack right. Check his ID. Again, check out the 25th lane at Lakeside Lanes when you're here. Awesome bar, awesome drinks, awesome everything at Lakeside. And I believe they also serve coffee if you're here kind of in the morning. I have seen coffee brewed. I've smelled it. And there are coffee pots and coffee brewing things. Check it out at Lakeside Lanes. There's also a coffee league, if I'm not mistaken. That's a 7-box for Justin Rodier, 83 and 7. Three boxes to go for Justin Rodier. To close things out, it's on the pocket. It's a full-ish hit. It's a split of 7, 4, 7, 10 for Justin Rodier. And he'll take, well, it's a working box. It's not a mark, unfortunately. And he'll take a 10 box out of it, 93 and 8, and that will be the 5th game for Justin Rodier. So he'll take 3 games, so he has a guaranteed 6 points. And he does have the total as of right now. He's up by 14, so Justin Rodier will be walking out of here with 10 points, no matter what happens now. Paul Metivier has 4. It'll be a 10-4 split. Justin Rodier on the head pin again. Split 7, 6, 3, 7. Justin Rodier, 28 for 49. The head pin with 16 splits so far. 57% on the head pin. 3% points down from Paul Metivier's 60%. He'll punch the 6, leaving the 3 and the 7. Eight, 9, or 10 for Justin Rodier, and he'll take a 9. That's 102 and 9 for Mr. Rodier. He's 6 for 9 on the head pin this game. And every single one of those head pin shots have been splits. Every single one. That's wild. So Paul Metivier will walk out of here with more head pin shots than Justin Rodier, statistically. And Justin Rodier's final head pins and split stats for the night will be 28 for 50 on the head pin and 16 splits. Compare that to Paul Metivier's 30 for 50 on the head pin with 17 splits. 4 horsemen left side and the 10 for Justin Rodier. He's over 100. Almost gets the mark, but leaves 3 on the deck. 7, 10, 4. So the final ball will be a potential 10 box with 7 box guarantee. 109 guarantee. And it'll be somewhere in the middle with a 9 box for a 111. Justin Rodier will finish with a 5-game total of 548. And that is confirmed. So Justin Rodier will take 10 points this evening. We'll compute the final stats here. Here we are. So Justin Rodier will walk out of here with 10 points. Paul Metivier will take 4. And it was a back and forth for quite a bit of the night. Justin Rodier started out taking games 1 and 2. Then Paul Metivier took 3 and 4. Justin Rodier came roaring back in the 5th, though, as well as the total. Both bowlers finishing with 10 spares apiece. Justin Rodier had 4 strikes. Paul Metivier had 2. 10 boxes. Justin Rodier had 13 to Paul Metivier's 10. Head pin percentage, again, Paul Metivier 60%. Justin Rodier 56%. And overall, Paul Metivier will go to 87 and 95. Justin Rodier will rise to 76 and 106. And that will be the story of this match. So, great showing by Justin Rodier tonight. So anyway, here's a couple of things I want you to check out after we conclude tonight. So Candlepin Bowling Network is all over YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. There's at Candlepin Corner on YouTube. There's at Candlepin Bowling on TikTok. The Atlantic Candlepin Single Store page on Facebook. There's also my channel, 3-Ball Spare. I encourage you to check that out. There's Candlepin Chat on Facebook, alleychat.net, and youtube.com/@alleychat for Friday Night Pro League recaps and classic Candlepin matches. There's also a couple of classic Candlepin bowling channels. There's also the Ripping the Rack podcast and the Approach podcast. There's Tony Levesque on YouTube. There's Charlie Collins on TikTok. And again, check out my channel, little bowling channel called 3-Ball Spare on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook if you want. And of course, if you think you can bowl better than anyone you've seen tonight, check out candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find a nearest center. Bowling centers all over the map of New England and as well as Eastern Canada. Just focusing on New England here in this particular map, but check out candlepin.org for details. Anyways, so for Paul Metivier and Justin Rodier, I want to thank you for watching. I've been Steve Kelly for the Atlantic Campus Singles Tour, and I hope you have a great one. We'll see you at the next one. Have a great one, everybody.